Dzień dobry, witamy wszystkich bardzo serdecznie w kolejnym odcinku programu Banda na portalu pobandzie.com.pl. Ja nazywam się Krzysztof Sałaga, a dziś moim gościem jest zawodnik Wybrzeża Gdańsk, Niels Kristian Iversen. Hello Niels.
Hello.
Hi, how's the weather like in Denmark? As bad as in Poland?
I think it's the same. Not so good, but hopefully better soon, so we can get some better racing in.
Yeah, that's true. And I know that you had a crash also this week. How are you feeling after the crash?
Yeah, I feel okay. As in general, I feel pretty good. So I mean, obviously, it was a shame that with the crash and I had to pull out of the meeting, and I haven't been riding yesterday in Denmark or today in England. Actually, yesterday in England and the day before in Denmark is Friday. So yeah, I had to be out of two meetings, which is obviously not so much fun. But yeah, I need to take some rest, and then I'll be good to go again.
Sure. But what pain is bigger, the pain that you've got in your body after the crash, or the pain that you won't be able to fight for Grand Prix?
Of course, this is. I mean, my goal was to fight to get to the SEC, and this was a goal of mine. So yeah, that is a big blow. I hope that I could go one step further than I did last year when I finished one place out from the SEC challenge. So yeah, that is a big disappointment, but nothing I can do about it now. I just need to move on and try and be good racing for my teams and score a lot of points.
Sure, but you probably observe also Jarek Kampel in the first extra league of Poland, and he's turned 42, like you are turning this year, and he's doing pretty well. Do you feel weaker than he is?
Do I feel weak? It's a difficult question. Obviously I've been fighting with Hampel for many years. We are the same age, and I rode also under 21 with him, and no, he has had a really good career. But as I saw it, he was a little bit down for a while, and he seemed like the past year or so he's been stepping up again, and which is nice to see because it also gives a little bit of hope for for myself. So no, a lot of respect for what he's achieving. So I think he's doing well.
Yeah, sure. You are parallel to Jarek for many years, because also your best years in Grand Prix and also in the Polish league, it was years like 2012, 2013, where your average in the Polish league was the second. So for 2 seasons, do you remember who was the first one in 2012 where you were second?
Probably Jarek.
No, it wasn't Jarek. In this case, 2012.
Was it Nicky?
Yes, 2012 it was Nicky,
right.
and the gap was really big between you two. But 2013, it was Jarek, and the gap was that small. Really, it was just one heat, and you would be the best Polish league rider. Right.
Okay. Yeah, I knew one of the years it was Jarek who was in the front, but I know I was second in two years in a row. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah, true, but I also looked up a little bit in the statistics, and that was by far the best seasons that you had, 2012 and 2013. And what did you do different in these 2 years?
I wouldn't say I did too much different. It was just everything just clicked better. Obviously, when you win a lot of heats, then your confidence grow. You feel good on your machinery. Obviously, the bikes has to work perfect to be able to perform every meeting on a high level. So I was very happy with my equipment, and obviously it gave me a lot of confidence, and everything just sort of builds up, and you gain that momentum. And when you're in that shape, then sometimes it's very difficult to lose, if you know what I mean. It just becomes a habit, and that was how on the roll I was on.
True, and it was not only in a Polish league, but also in a Grand Prix. You had the biggest success in your career, so you got a bronze in the World Championship. And I just wanted to ask you, all of these medals that you won with Denmark, like as a team, and this one bronze, which one is more important for you?
Probably, it's difficult. It's a difficult question, Obviously, I'm more proud of the bronze medal because it was something I achieved for myself. There was no other ones to help me out, no other teammates. Obviously, my team, my mechanics, and everybody I work with was a part of it. But but I would say I'm more proud of that than of the team gold medals, because then we're in a team where you have 4 or 5 riders and a coach and everyone, so everybody played a part in the success. So individually, then it is individually.
True, and Denmark used to be really strong back in the days also. Now the guys are also strong, but they are not winning so many golden medals. And I think, especially in this young generation, when the Danish riders were always the best, now it is a little bit of a gap. Don't you have this feeling?
Yeah. I think Poland is really strong as it is right now. There's a big, how can you say, there's a lot of riders which are good, performs on a high level. So it's, if one rider cannot do it, then another rider is there to take over. And I think with Denmark, it's a little bit different. If one of our top boys is missing, then it's difficult to fill that gap. There is no one else to be there. And I saw it a little bit with when, last time I was in the team and I didn't perform to my best level. Then we were struggling as a team, because for a number of years I was sort of one of the best riders, which was carrying the team together with Nicky as well. And when we weren't there to do that, then things became really, really difficult. So yeah, but it's good to see now we have a few new boys. Obviously, Mikkel and Anders has been in the Grand Prix now for a couple of years, and the team is built around these boys now, which is good to see. There is some new generation coming in, because can't keep relying on the same riders year in and year out. And when I came into the team, Nicky was already a part of it, and I did I think 13 or 14 years in a row in the team, which is a long time. So yeah, it's been a good run.
Yeah, of course. And now in the team, like you've said, you've got Mikkel, you've got Anders, but you also have Leon Madsen. If he's riding for the national team. But in general, do you envy Nicky this position of being a coach? Would you like to be a coach one day?
I mean, for me personally, I think it's too early for me to think about it just now. I would like to focus on my racing and try and make the best which I can from my career, and then we will see. I wouldn't rule it out one day, because obviously I like working with other people. I like to, I think I have a lot to share with people in terms of being able to coach younger riders and be a part of the speedway still. So but we will have to see. It's the future, and right now I'm focusing on my own racing.
Sure. Let's wait and see. Do you have children?
I have a daughter. Yeah, she's 10 years old, so I don't think she will race.
You never know. In Denmark, you had many of racers like Nana Jorgensen and so on. No?
Yeah. There's been a few. I was racing with a few as well when I was on the ATCs and stuff. But no, I don't think it's not for my daughter. So
she's going to do something different. All right, let's go back a little bit to the Polish league, maybe for a while. As everybody knows, the biggest years of your career were in Gorzów. So I'm not going to ask you about the favorite club, because it's definitely Stal. But apart from Stal, where did you feel best during these years?
In which club in Poland has I felt
Yeah, exactly. Best? That's the question.
I don't know really. It's a tough question, because obviously I spent a lot of years with Stal Gorzów, 8 years in total, which is many years. So obviously I had the majority of my great time with the club there. 2020 was a big letdown. Everything went wrong, and for my own individually, a lot of injury and problems, and COVID and all that stuff. So yeah, it was not the best memory when I came back then. But apart from that, everything has been really great with the club there, and I've always been happy to be a part of it in Gorzów. So yeah, a lot of good memories. Apart from that, I don't know, because I have not spent that many years with each club. I spent 2 years with Łódź. I spent 3 years in total with Torun. But first time was in 2006, and I came back in 2018 and 19. But it was also okay to ride there, I think. But apart from that, then I had 4 years in Falubas, Shilonagora. A couple of good years there, and a couple of years when things didn't really work out. So so it's very difficult to say. I don't really have a favorite number two. I think it's just how it is now with Gdansk, and yeah, so far I'm pretty happy about being in the team there. I think there's a pretty good atmosphere, and yeah, we're just trying to get the season getting going now. So we had one meeting, and unfortunately we lost at home, but no, we still have more work to do.
Sure. Yeah, and definitely it's going to be also better after the first meeting, so no worries about this one. But I just wanted to ask you about the reason why are you riding for Gdańsk? Maybe it's just a perfect logistic, from Denmark just to go with the ferry.
No, obviously I had some contact with Woods end of last year, and I actually did a deal with the club. Verbally, and but then in the end, then they weren't that interesting. I think they had other riders. On, and then yeah, in the end, it was not much contact left. And then I started to speak with Gdansk, and yeah, they made it very obvious that they wanted me in the team, and they made it clear that they thought I was the rider that they needed in the team there, and obviously that's what I want to hear. I want the club to think that I'm the right person to do the job, because if you're just a number and you're just whatever, then it's a little bit more difficult to feel that you're part of the club. Yeah, and I think the communication with Gdansk was very good, and it was very positive. So yeah, I was quite confident that it was a good move for me.
Yeah, it seems like, and if you don't feel just like a number, but like an important member of a team, it's always much more important. But you just meant that you made a deal verbally in Łódź, and I'm not gonna ask you about the details about this one, but in general, you are very experienced rider in Polish league, and in general. How often did it happen to you that somebody promised something to you, like a verbal contract, let's say, and it didn't pay out?
Of course, I know how the game works, and obviously I did not take anything for granted before I have signed a contract. But I was obviously I had the expectation that we were going to continue at least for a while, and then I thought that. Okay, I'm going to stay in Łódź, and it's going to be okay. But obviously, I didn't sign the contract yet, and when the communication was starting to lag a little bit, then I also had my feelings that okay, maybe it's not a deal. So I was starting to work with other things, and it went how it went.
Okay, good. But we just started to talk a little bit about contracts, money, and so on. So I wanted also to ask you about your sponsors. Do you have more sponsors in Poland or in Denmark?
I have more sponsors in Denmark. I have, I don't have that many sponsors in Poland. But then you have the 3P Logistics. He has also some departments in Poland, and as well as in Denmark and other countries too. So, but he is the base of the company is in Denmark. So I would say I have a lot more sponsors in Denmark.
Yeah, this is a big company, 3P Logistics, that is also organizing camps before the season. So you were also a part of one of these camps, yes?
Yeah, I didn't go there because I had meetings in England, so I wasn't able to take part. But no, they do a lot of stuff, which is pretty good. I think it's pretty cool to just to organize things for the riders and get them going from the start of the season. So there's a lot of riders which they support, and now I think it's cool to see. So it's a pretty new thing that you organizing training camps and stuff for the riders you sponsor. So I think it's great.
Yeah, it looks great. Also, I've seen it on the pictures on some relations, let's say, from there. So was looking really, really all right. Niels, just one last question, maybe about your long career that you already have, and maybe sometimes you review it a little bit, and you ask yourself, okay, if I could be 20 once again, I would do this or that in a different way. So my question would be, what would it be that you would like to do in a different way, and also how much would you pay, to be 20 again?
Yeah, that's a good question. How much would I pay to be 20 again? I mean, I could go back, but no one says I could do it as good as I have done it. Maybe I could do it better. No one knows. I don't know what I was going to be willing to pay, but because it's not going to be possible anyway. But it would be fun to be 20 again. I would say that. But no. I'm 41 now, so there we go.
There we go. Okay. But if you wanted to change, or if you could have changed something in your career, what would it be?
I would probably employ a few more people, maybe one or two more people when I was at my best level, to help me with like a full-time manager, for example. I would have done that because I never really had a manager. So I was doing a lot of things myself, and sometimes I just had too much work for me to also focusing on racing and doing my training and doing everything apart from riding. So I would probably hire a manager when in them years when I was at my best. I think that could have probably helped me a little bit staying there for longer, I think. So so that's something I would change. But apart from that, I don't really have any regrets. I think I've always done everything to the best what I could. I always prepared the best which I could. And sometimes you look back and you see, okay, I did this wrong and I did that wrong and I should have done this or that instead. But when I was doing things, I always done it to the best of what I knew. So I don't really have any regrets. I think I've done everything which I could to be as good as possible. And I still do now. Still don't do everything right, but I try my best. And I think as long as you do that, then I'll keep riding.
Yeah, sure. And it's really good that you don't regret so many things. And I also promise you that it's going to be a last question, but it interests me a little bit. What does a manager do? Because you just said, okay, you would have hired a manager. So what duties would you just put to him?
Mainly taking care of sponsors, doing sponsorships, doing all these events, which is connected with Grand Prix. When you have tickets and you have like sponsor events, I had many times, especially when we were riding in Denmark. I had like an event for X amount of people with food and drinks and stuff, which I bought just to organize all these things. So I had my mind clear of all these duties and then also with the logistics, with the traveling and everything, just everything which is sort of a little bit away from the racing. I managed to take care of that, and that's something which I could have used when I was at that level. So yeah.
Yeah, cool. Okay, thank you for this answer. Niels, so that was really a last question now today. I would like to say thank you for having you here, for attending this interview. I think the spectators also will be happy to watch you in this interview. I wish you loads of health for this season. I wish you loads of success for Wybrzeże. Is there something that you would like to say in the end of this interview? The stage is yours.
Not really. Just thanks for having me, and I'm just looking forward to see everybody around the tracks. Hopefully, it will be a good long season, a lot of points, and no injuries, and a lot of sunshine, good weather.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
Do you already know if you are riding this weekend, or is it postponed?
No, I think so far we are riding. Yeah, so and yeah, I'm fit and ready to ride as well. So yeah, let's
So
hope that the weather is okay.
okay, so nobody needs to postpone the meeting because of you.
No, not because of me. I can see Shogunov. He's also ready. He's making the pull-ups and stuff on Instagram. So it looks like his shoulder is okay too. So so yeah, all good.
All right, so let's hope you're gonna rise in a nice way against Chugunov in this case. And yeah, thank you again for being here. I'm just gonna do it in Polish, the last part.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
to był kolejny odcinek programu Po Bandzie, programu La Banda na portalu Po Bandzie. Moim gościem był dzisiaj Niels Kristian Iversen. Ja nazywam się Krzysiek Sałaga i zapraszam niebawem na kolejne odcinki. Thank you, Niels.
Thank you.
Goodbye, thanks. Do zobaczenia.
Thanks. See you later.